Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the Laws of KASHRUS by Rabbi Yamin Forrest, and today is a conclusion, a little bit of what we spoke about yesterday with the Milchig and the Fleishig bread, how careful a person must be, that if you're going to make it, it has to be obvious that it's one and not the other. It has to be served in a way that it's understood that this is Fleishig and not Milchig, or Milchig and not Fleishig, so that chas v'shalom, God forbid, a person will not come to make mistakes and end up serving bread that really has milk inside of it with their pastrami sandwich, or the bread that has real fat of meat in it with their fettuccine pasta with cheese. So we have to be careful. And he writes like this: Ha'isa nikba b'shas afiyah. The prohibition of serving this bread, or this bread not being edible, it takes place at the time of the baking. What does that mean? If you baked, if you kneaded a lot of dough with milk, and you made it into a loaf of bread, and you didn't make the tzur miyuchedes, you didn't make a unique shape or design to the bread, as we spoke about yesterday. If you make it unique, so then people know, though, that's the chalavi bread, that's the milchig bread. Let's say you didn't do that, so then chal mishas afiyah, the prohibition to eat this bread happens at the time of baking. And so therefore, if you kneaded it, you could still make it into a tzur, you could still make it into a loaf of bread that has a unique and distinct shape to it. But if you baked it now as a regular loaf of bread, that's when the issur, that's when the prohibition takes effect. Therefore, since that the bread is becoming asur, prohibited at the time of the baking, there is no way to ever fix it up. Derech mashal, for example, if you baked for yourself many loaves of bread, and then you changed your mind, and you decided you're going to distribute them out to many of your friends. You said, gosh, this bread is so good, let me go and share with other people. And to each one, you only gave them the amount of bread that they could eat for one day. So that seemed to work for the individual themselves. So too, let's say you baked the bread as a regular looking loaf of bread, but after you baked it, then you made some kind of a change on the bread. Let's say you cut off a little piece in a distinct way or the like. In all of these ways, the bread was not fixed up. And the prohibition that is on this bread is exactly the way that it was from the time that you baked it, and you would not be able to give it to anyone else. I guess the shiloh over here is that if it's no, that's the problem, because you baked so much of it, and there's no sign, and it's not clear that it's a milchig bread. Even you yourself would not be allowed to eat the bread. So again, a person who wants to bake bread that's either milchig or fleishig, please make sure that when you do it according to the halachas that we stated previously. Otherwise, a person can find themselves in a bit of a pickle over here, what to do with that bread. According to Rav Forrest, he's quoting over here the Pischei Tshuva, which is one of the premier paiskim on the Shulchan Aruch, that this bread becomes asur la'olam, becomes bread that you can never use, not even for yourself. Have a wonderful day, and we shall continue Be'ez Hashem tomorrow.